client will be done shortly, Mr. Nettle. In the meantime, you must try to put up with me.
I know how it'll be. You will bury yourself down there and not speak to a living soul. And your nerves will be worse than ever from moping. I shall give you letters of introduction to all the people I know there. Some of them, as far as I can remember, were quite
You
nice.
know of the many people around here?
Hardly a soul. My sister was staying here at the rectory, some 4 years ago, and she gave me letters of introduction to some of the people here.
Then you practically know nothing about my aunt.
Only her name and address.
Her great tragedy happened just 3 years ago. That would be since your sister's time.
Her tragedy?
Yes, you may wonder why we keep that window open on October afternoon.
It is quite warm for that time of year, but that window has to do with the tragedy.
Out through that window 3 years ago, a day her husband and her 2 young brothers went off for the days. They never came back from their favorite shooting grounds. All 3 of them had got caught in some very bad mud. It had been a hot, dreadful, wet summer. The places that was safe the past 2 years gave away suddenly, without warning. Their bodies were never recovered. That's the dreadful part of it. Poor aunt always think that they will come back someday and the little dog will walk through the window like they used to do. That is why the window always is open. She often tells me about them and how her brother Ronnie would sing "Birdie, how do you do your bond" to tease her. On quiet days, I get a creepy feeling that they will come through the window.
I hope Vera's been entertaining you.
She's been very entertaining.
I hope you don't mind the open window. My husband and brothers will be back directly from shooting, and they always come in that way. They've been out for snipe in the marshes today, so they'll make a fine mess over my poor carpet. So like you men folk is...
The doctors agree in ordering me complete rest and absence of mental excitement and avoidance of anything in nature of violent physical exercise. On the matter of diet, they are not so much in agreement.
Here they are at last, just in time for tea, and don't they look as if they were muddied up to the eyes?
I said, Birdie, why do you want?
Here we come, my dear. A little muddy, but mostly dry. Who bolted whenever we come?
A most extraordinary man, a Mr. Nettle, could only talk about his illness and dashed off without a word of goodbye or apology when you arrived.
I think it was the spaniel. He told me he had a horror of dogs. He was once haunted in a cemetery somewhere on the banks of the Congas by a pack of prairie dogs, and it had to spend the night in a newly dug grave with the creatures, snarling and gargling and foaming just above him, enough to make anyone lose their nerve.